It's a known fact that I watch way too many movies, and I try to go see every single one I can in theaters, even though it's incredibly hard. So I figured I would just talk about them, like a quick review sort of thing. Recently I watched Ready or Not, which was disappointing in every way possible. I didn't really have expectations going in, but the trailer made it seem pretty fun for what it is. Unfortunately, that is not the case. A lot of what's in the trailer are the most interesting and funny moments that are in the movie. Every other joke that isn't in the trailer is just cursing. Like the writers replaced every possible moment for a punchline with characters cursing for some reason. It's not funny. It's not interesting or clever at all. One of the side gags is one of the characters in the family just looking up videos on YouTube on how to work a crossbow. I'm not sure what the punchline really was. There's just nothing to it. It goes nowhere. It's unfunny from the very beginning. It's just stupid. It truly feels like a kid wrote it. The film looks fairly boring for the most part, and some shots are outright blurry and hard to look at for some reason. There's some level of style to the filmmaking that I found to be executed fairly well, such as how the title pops up, but not much follows after that really. There's also a lot of shaky cam that just looks distractingly bad. Samara Weaving? Is that how you say your name? Carries the entire film so much that she has a cigarette every so often during the movie. Every other character is empty and boring to watch. The husband is a generic plot device with no real personality except for his internal conflict on whether to believe that his family believes or not. Believes on this game ritual thing that they have going on. As for the family themselves, they're honestly just not funny nor menacing. So apart from that, you really don't have much to do with them. They're just it's a really boring cast overall, except for the main female lead, who is actually pretty good for the most part. I like the ending a lot and the overall aesthetic of a bride wearing Converse and wielding a gun, but none of that elevates the film much at all. All it has to say is that rich people are assholes, which isn't anything new nor interesting. Plus the way they chose to communicate that point is so on the nose that it loses impact immediately. But anyway, despite having no expectations for the movie, I was still disappointed because this had the potential to be solid and maybe even pretty good. But overall, everything it had going for it was wasted by the end. Also, I'd give this a 4 out of 10, but I'll explain my rating system real quick for those that don't know. A 5 out of 10 is average, and then it just goes up and down from there. So a 4 is mediocre for me, and then a 6 is good. It only increases and decreases from there, so 3 is bad, 7 is pretty great, 2 is awful, and so on. I have a difficult relationship with ratings. They're never consistent. I always have this trouble where I give, for example, maybe a movie a 5 out of 10, another one a 4 out of 10. But then I feel like the 4 out of 10 could be ranked higher than the 5 out of 10. So there's always that issue. It's never 100% consistent, but I do try to keep it as consistent as possible. So that's really it. I didn't enjoy the movie, but you might, so go support original movies in the theater.